Hey, hey, hey! It's the Pacific Northwest Geek Echo Zero here, and I am back with another Tubi Tuesday. And once again, I am looking at a REC movie. This time, I am looking at the 2009 sequel to the first movie, REC 2, which opens up pretty much immediately at the end of the first movie with Angela being dragged off into the dark before we introduce these four special forces soldier guys, SWAT guys. I guess from what I can see, the GEO, which I guess in Spanish is here, and I guess roughly translates has special group special operations or something. And these four are being sent in to the apartment building from the first movie, where actually they're supposed to meet up with a guy from the Ministry of Health. Initially, they see blood, they see the aftermath of stuff that's happened in the first movie, but they do not see anybody. They find the penthouse where the first movie ended. Eventually, though, they do come across one of the infected. Well, one of the members comes across one of the infected and themselves, well, they're turned. However, while dealing with this, the guy from the Ministry of Health, Owens, I believe his name is, he starts reciting some religious-type prayer, which seems to turn the creature's attention to him. Doesn't attack him. Eventually, they get him into a room, and he puts a rosary or a crucifix, whatever you call it, on the door. And leaves to a whole bunch of questions. This is what the hell is going on. They go back to the penthouse and find out he's a priest. He's not from the Ministry of Health. And he fills the whole thing in about that there was this girl, 11-year-old girl, who, Tristana, and they were trying to, because there was signs of demon possession. And they decided they wanted to look at the physical stuff, effects of someone being possessed, and maybe create a serum, an antidote to help with, instead of doing an exorcism, they can have an antidote, an injection. Hey, you got demon possession? Take one of these in the morning. Take one of these and call me in the morning. Only things have gone wrong, and they need to find the blood of Tristana, patient 0, so that they can do this. And, well, they can't leave because they have voice recognition and will only recognize his voice. So as they're searching for her, this guy who was the father of the girl from the little girl from the first movie, he's so desperate to get in there that he convinces a fireman to help him. They are followed by 3 teenagers, dumbass teenagers, who are looking to have fun, do something cool, get some cool videos they can show off. And the father gets killed, the little girl's father gets killed, and there's this whole situation going on when they find Angela. She is alive. Only things are not exactly as they appear. And again, it's pretty cool movie. Tristana has a little bit more in this because you get to see a little bit more of her, and she is, oh my god, you can only see her if it's dark and you're using night vision. And she's this tall, scrawny, really skinny, boneless creature with just pieces of hair, and you can only see her with night vision. So she gets pretty close, and you can see how she's all slimy and wet, and it's definitely an image you see. It's that'd be pretty damn scary if you were to turn on your night vision. That's what you would see, like standing in front of you. Ooh, that would be scary. The 2 movies, I actually enjoyed this a lot more than the first movie. The first movie I've considered my favorite, actually probably the only Lost film format that I like. So I didn't like Cloverfield, didn't like Blair Witch. Quarantine I used to like until I saw REC and then realized REC is the superior of the 2 movies. But this actually might be my new favorite found film, Lost film, whatever you want to call it, because it's definitely cool, and In the first movie, Angela's cameraman was this guy named Pablo, played by Pablo Russo, or something, how do you say his last name? Now, the actor's back playing another character named Russo. Like, so basically, he played a character in the first movie that used, I guess, his real first name, and in the second movie, he plays a different character who uses his real last name. That's actually pretty cool. And there's also, they find this woman, they find the signs of this bottle rocket. Like, what the hell's going on? They find out that the 3 teenagers and the firemen and the father had encountered one of these creatures, and they shoved a bottle rocket, a good-sized bottle rocket, right into her mouth. And you get them seeing that, you see, it's going off, and her running around, sparks going off, and then poof, it goes off, and she goes down. It's like, damn, that was actually pretty badass. But still, like I said, seeing Tristana in the dark is just, it's a sight. It's completely scary. Now, the first movie, REC, did have a remake called Quarantine. However, Quarantine 2 is not a remake of this movie because this takes place in the same apartment building, whereas the Quarantine 2 takes place like at an airport. And if I were to compare the two, just as REC is a superior to Quarantine, this too is a superior to both Quarantine and Quarantine 2. It's on Tubi. Definitely check it out, but it's in Spanish with subtitles. Man, it's pretty cool. Now, yes, next week I should be doing. Oh, a little jammed in here. REC 3, Genesis, and then after that I will be doing REC 4, Apocalypse. However, this is not on Tubi. So when I do this, unless it comes up on Tubi before I do this, the fourth movie will not be the fourth video on the series will be, won't be a Tubi. In all honesty, I'm having fun watching this. So I'll drop the trailer and the Tubi link because definitely check this out. Anyways, and oh yeah, dude, still, I just got done watching it right before I did this, and I'm still creeped out a bit by the imagery of that tall, super scrawny Tristana walking around in the dark. If you've seen this movie, you know how that looks. If haven't, be warned. But anyways, I am Echo Zero, and I will see you on the flip side. Toodaloo.